WJTS News, I'm Charlotte Olson. Jasper City Council passed a resolution to establish the Jasper-Patoka Riverfront District for the purpose of allowing for the insurance of alcohol permits last night. This measure was made possible through a recent state law designed to promote development along the riverfronts in Indiana for the purpose of entertainment and also for leisure. Alcohol permits are a very tightly regulated commodity with quotas set in place based on population sizes. The regular process to get an alcohol permit can be costly, with the added benefit of the owner being able to own the license. However, that will not be the case with these alcohol permits along the riverfront. These licenses will be three-way permits to the selling of beer, wine, and liquor, and for restaurants only, with the added caveat of no carryout. Several restaurants have already expressed interest in setting up shop within the river center, and Military Sites points out that process is still tightly regulated, but with some major differences to ownership of these alcohol permits.
And this, we would be establishing again another way of licensing. All we would be doing would be previewing that, and then it still goes to the Alcohol Tobacco Commission of the state of Indiana, but only in a very defined area. And those licenses are not owned by the business. They're actually controlled by the city. If that business ever moves, that license is gone. If the business vacates that and moves to or wants to go out of business, that license goes back to be redistributed through the council again. So council made a vote tonight to establish the district and then establish the rules in the next meeting or two.
The Riverfront District is currently regulated to be up to 1,500 feet from the river, or 3 blocks, and won't count against this quota due to them being non-transferable. The mapping of the district is still a matter of discussion, with the concerns of neighboring residents being taken into account. Some concern was expressed by Councilwoman Nancy Eckerly, who voted against the resolution, originally monitoring to have the discussion tabled in order to discuss more limitations. The council will next discuss what the rules and procedures to go about issuing these permits should be at the next meeting. Spencer County Purdue Extension hosted a food summit Wednesday at the Spencer County Youth and Community Center in Christine. This summit was an opportunity for local food growers to come and share thoughts and to also learn about local initiatives and successes while listening to others who are involved in the food system. It was also an opportunity to discuss specific topics that are affecting community members. Local food coordinator for Purdue Extension, Jody Ellett, says that the summit is a way for people in the community to come together and to learn more about the food system.
This local food summit is really a venue for people to connect with others who are working in the local food system, to learn more about what's going on in the community, and just to learn more about the new innovative ways that farmers are producing food for local markets, getting it distributed, and the types of markets that people are buying food, local food from.
During Wednesday's summit, a panel discussion moderated by Bill Potter here of DC Broadcasting and included a number of different discussions, as well as a brunch and a talk by Suzanne Cecil White of Cecil Farm Produce in Kentucky. She spoke of her life experiences as a farmer during the panel. Patoka Lake Regional Water District has been voted best tasting water during regional competitions, and officials at the Alliance of Indiana Rural Water have found that the best tasting water in the first of 4 regional competitions held throughout the state of Indiana on March the 15th, and during this Alliance of Indiana Rural Water's annual spring conference was hosted at French Lick Resort. The winner of the first regional competition was the tastiest water, and it went to Patoka Lake Regional Water District. Participating water samples were judged on 3 categories, including clarity, odor, and taste. Patoka Lake Regional Water District will advance to the state competition for the best tasting water in Indiana, and this will be held at the Alliance of Indiana Rural Water's Fall Conference in Fort Wayne. They will compete from the winners from 3 other regions of the state, and their water sample was chosen by judges as the most appealing water as well. The winners of the best tasting water in Indiana will advance to compete in the Great American Water Taste Test, which is a national contest at Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., and it takes place in early February of 2018. This event is part of the Rural Water Rally, an annual legislative event for the 49 state affiliates of National Rural Water Association. The Alliance of Indiana Rural Water is a nonprofit membership organization of over 800 water and wastewater systems and related professionals. The Alliance provides training and on-site technical assistance on safe drinking water acts and compliance issues, public health protection, and also managerial issues, financial issues, and operational issues to water and wastewater systems. Of course, there are under 10,000 in total population in the state of Indiana, and training and on-site work is supported by federal contracts and grants that promote safe water for all of our communities. Dispatchers across the state would like to remind motorists that in an effort to reduce the number of secondary crashes on Indiana roadways, Indiana lawmakers passed legislation establishing guidelines for the removal of vehicles involved within accidents. The law, which was passed in July of 2016, provides an outline for the removal of a vehicle for drivers who have been involved in a property damage crash. Under the law, drivers must move their vehicles from the roadway as soon as possible, and crashes that result in injury, death, or impairment are exempt. Drivers who call 911 are being reminded of the new state protocol and are being instructed to move their vehicles if it applies to their particular situation. Failure to move a vehicle is a Class C infraction that could result in a citation. Drivers who call local dispatch centers are instructed to move their cars away from the roadway. And for more information, contact your local law enforcement agency. And make sure you keep it right here, because up next we'll take a look at your weather summary.